what's the start? I think it's 3:18, so we start on time and we stick to the time frame. Yeah. All right, thank you everyone for giving your precious time for the second round of Learning Conversations Day, the Professional Development in-house Professional Development one. Before the external professors and external trainers would arrive, we're running this Learning Conversations Day in-house to share some ideas and explore some new teaching ways of looking at our just teaching skill set. So this is the second round. Ms. Amira has graciously stepped just forward and she has volunteered to share her expertise in the field she has been practicing in her classes. Please do volunteer for the next. Ms. Anna has volunteered for the next one. So you will be hearing her expertise the next round. And you're welcome to volunteer for the next because we're going to collaborate together. I'm going to help you. We're going to share slides, ideas, and we can plan together. You're not alone in this. So please volunteer, please email me or drop me a message and volunteer for the next Learning Conversations Day. Before the professionals arriving, we have already discussed this with Ms. Elise, so people from Cambridge coming and people from other reputed universities are coming. So before that, we would be running these in-house professional development sessions with you to explore the new teaching methodologies. So without further ado, I don't want to just drag the session. We will start on time and we'll finish on time. So without further ado, I pass the stage to Ms. Amira. Please welcome her. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm using it. Test. Shall we? Yeah. Ooh. Okay, I know that the picture over here is very cringy, but cringy is my middle name, so what? Okay, multimedia in education. I know that you have implemented a lot of multimedia tools in your teaching, so do I, but just try to see this as a sharing session. You have a lot of things that you have done with your students, so this is just one of the things that you can apply to, okay? Do you even know who this guy is? No, you don't. It's my boyfriend. Kidding. Okay, this is our bestie. Do you remember how all of us did this in our classroom? Yeah, and it tends to get a little overhyped, right? But now, as technology is evolving, so does teaching. These are the things that I have done in my classroom using multimedia. Number one is ASMR videos. Raise your hand if you know what is ASMR. Anna, raise your hand. Okay, yeah. So those who don't know, ASMR videos are videos that you use some sounds, like some soothing sounds, to trigger some parts of your brain. It's not just random sounds, okay? So a lot of YouTubers use this to make you sleep, make you feel at ease. But I try to implement it in my teaching as well. But it is so cringy that a lot of my year 10 students be like, no, miss, don't do it anymore. Okay? I also did virtual reality for descriptive compositions. Virtual reality is a software, a website. I took around 3 months to understand how virtual reality works. Okay, let them sit down first. Yeah. It's okay, I'm using mic. Yeah. Okay, the second one, I used virtual reality. It took me almost 3 months to understand how it works. It is not that easy, and I think that is why some of you wouldn't want to use multimedia in your teaching because it's too overwhelming. Sometimes it's tedious to do it, right, Rowena? Yeah, but I tried it because I love to explore, and because you need to explore it through and through, eventually when you launch it, a lot of your students will ask you a lot of questions like, why does it crash? There are bugs, and I don't know how to fix this. You need to fix it before your students fix it, right? Because they don't know anything about virtual reality. You're the one that initiate this lesson, so of course you need to help them. Okay. So those who don't know what virtual reality is, they need to take a 360 picture of their surroundings and then put some points at the items that you can see around you, and then you describe it in a very detailed manner. So you can use all the imagery. If you're an English teacher, then probably you understand this, like using all the imagery, right? And this one, it is not that easy. The one that I ask my students to do is that they need to create a crime scene, like blood splatter everywhere, and you can see like a knife underneath the bed. So when you click at that some point, you can see the description. That is how descriptive composition works. And last but not least, this is the one that I just did using TikTok filter for augmented reality. I think this took me 5 hours to learn, and we don't have 5 hours to just learn about technology, right? That's why sometimes we don't want to use or implement technology in our teaching. This one, augmented reality, what I did is for my guided reading class, Quarterline. So if you're teaching year 7, you know Quarterline, okay? So sometimes it's very difficult for the students to like connect to the book they're reading. So I try to find something relatable to the students, like TikTok. This is their generation, right? So I'm using TikTok to approach these younger generations. They are like 5 characters. The Other Mother, we have Coraline, we have YB, we have Bob Babinski. But how can they remember the character? How can they enjoy the book? By having the filter tell them what kind of character you can relate to in the book. Okay? If you want to use it too, you can. I have the QR code here. And there are some people, not just my students, all over the world try the TikTok filter too. Like for example, the first person from the US, she got The Other Mother. And the second one is from Other International School. He got The Other Mother too. Ronald, my student, he got the cat, and Benji got YB. Okay. This is the filter. I just named it Miss Amira, and you can try it if you want to. But today, we're not going to be doing virtual reality. We're not going to be doing augmented reality, nor do we need to like learn how to do ASMR videos, cringy ASMR videos. It's gonna be podcasts. Anyway, if I'm talking too fast, you need to tell me. Okay, Kamina? Okay. Okay, podcast. Who knows what is a podcast? Nice. Yes. So podcast is having like casual conversations with with another interlocutor. Okay? Sometimes in a formal setting, it's very hard for you to express yourself. But in a podcast, it's easy for you to like be expressive. Even though you're not good at the language, or even though you are not good at the topic, like for example, additional math, maybe you can like talk in a casual manner with your friends in a podcast. This is my Apple Podcast. Of course, yeah, I need to pay for it, but there are a lot of other free websites for podcasts. Since we are touching multiple intelligences, podcasts uses linguistics, intelligence, and also interpersonal. Okay, there are some benefits of doing podcasts in your lesson. Number one, it is very engaging and interactive because you are not just going to standing in front of your class talking and then your student just listen, because your students are now the teachers. They are conducting. They are the moderator. Number 2 is variety of perspective and opinions, complex issues. For example, I'm not good at math. Who else hates math? So, like someone like me who hates math, sorry Ivan. Someone like me who hates math, maybe you can ask that student to like enjoy the podcast, because sometimes complicated issues, people like me, we don't know what to ask, right? Because it's not that we don't know anything, we just cannot reach the topic, if you know what I mean. So when you try to ask this kind of students to join and express themselves which part of the topic that you don't understand, eventually we come to that direction. Okay, number 3, easily accessed online, and it is convenient. So it is free, everyone can access to the podcast. Even you can upload it in your Google Classroom. It's not necessary for you to go to Spotify and ask your student to click the link. No, you can just put it in your Google Classroom. Number 4, learn at their own pace and flexible. Because a podcast, the nature of podcasts, it's very casual and relaxed. So they can be learning it in a very flexible way, if you know what I mean. Okay? If you have questions, you can ask your friends in a very casual manner. You can make fun about it. You can make jokes. You can make puns. So eventually you can learn the topic. Number 5, it is very relaxed and approachable, just like what I said just now. It's expressive. Next. Some people, they prefer tangible books, but some people, they prefer the audio books. Same with podcasts. Some students, they learn better in a very formal setting, in your classroom, but some people, they learn better with their peers, in a group, in a podcast. There are some common questions that you may have right now and you want to ask, oh, it isn't replicable for my subject because I'm teaching math. How can I have a podcast talking about algebra? Talking about quantum physics? At this point, I'm just coding Ant-Man. Okay, actually, it is very replicable to your subject because there are a lot of other podcasts out there addressing and use all these subjects, not just languages, because you'll be like, oh, you're an English teacher, of course you can talk about analysis in your podcast. Not necessarily. You can use it in physics, you can use it in biology, you can use it in humanities. Number 2, it requires a lot of work. Well, for podcasts, not necessarily, because you are no longer the moderator. You just ask a flunker, an A-star student, some random students to join the podcast. Okay, so it's not necessary for them to you to prepare all this stuff to make the podcast happen. They make it happen, so it doesn't require a lot of work. I don't have enough time to plan such a tedious lesson. Technology is supposed to ease us, not the other way around. If you embrace technology, then it will definitely help you. It's just you need to learn. Okay. Okay, these are some topics that I found for math. Quadratic function, God knows what that is. This is for EdMath. We have a lot of other free podcasts that you can access. Number 1 is Breaking Math podcast, math podcast. You can make it fun too. If you put the title of your podcast is like learning and teaching, learning itself carry bad connotation. Like this would be like, oh, another learning session. Maybe you can make something fun, like out of the topic. This is for art. Who's an art teacher here? Sadia. I think I saw Nadia. Yeah. So you can, sometimes like some subjects, they are very practical, right? You need to go down, do the dirty work. But before you go to that practical part, maybe you can have the discussion. Like, for example, Yayoi Kusama and Van Gogh, you can talk about her mental health and how he cut his ear. Let the students talk about it in the podcast. This one, I don't know anything about minimalism, but this one, you can talk about one of the parts in music. I hope I say this right. Okay, there are a lot of other genres in music. You can even edit the podcast. Like this is the examples of minimalistic music. And Philip Glass is one of the leading musician for minimalism. This is genetics for science. You can talk about the process about genetics in your podcast with your student. Maybe you finish teaching them about genetics, and now we can have a podcast session with your student in front of the class talking about it. If they don't understand it, let them be. If they have so many questions to ask to another person in that podcast, let them be. Let the conversation go in. This is for PE by Fika. So PE, when you tell the students, okay, we're gonna make a podcast for a physical education class, they'll be like, what the hell? Podcast? We wanna play. Not necessarily, again, before you like get down to play, you can have a session like do's and don'ts. When you give them the opportunity to talk with their friends about the do's and don'ts, it will be more successful rather than just listen to your teacher in front of the class and they will just do something else at the back because they are so, they cannot wait to play, right? Or like mental health, anxiety. This is actually falls under physical education. You don't know it because we are so accustomed to let the students play, but this is actually some theories that you can implement in your PE class. And of course, English, I put it to the last one because you'll be like, oh, not English again. But for those who like teach year 10 and 11, you know that this is one of the analysis for writer's effect. In Victoria era, you can talk about Victoria era before you come down to the topic. Okay, this is my podcast. See, it's not necessary for you to put teaching with Miss Samira. That's boring. Who wants to listen to my lecture after school? In school, you listen to your teacher. After school, you need to tune in to another podcast, learning about stuff again. Maybe you can just put Darth Vader. That is my stage name. That is a Darth Vader. Duh. Okay. Before we do a test run, I will show you some examples that I did with my students. Just a quick one because I can see from Koki's face that we want to go back early.
Welcome to another episode of my podcast. We're here.
This is in the class, by the way, and I was shouting because I'm afraid they can't listen to me, but then it's like shouting away. This is the setup. This one, the top one. So we start off with William. I want you to see that it's very doable. I just use my phone. And I put like a group in the middle and just ask them to like move the phone around so that everybody can listen. You don't have to have a mic.
In the studio with Adina, Aiden, Ryusei, Dunit, Nake, Nicole, and William. We're going to be talking about Coraline and some inference you can make out of this novel. Can you talk a little bit about yourself and your country of origin?
Hi, I am William. I like reading and I am from Spain.
I'm Nicole. I like drawing and I'm from Nigeria.
Hello, my name is Nake and I am from Hong Kong.
Hi, my name is Lunas and I'm from Dubai.
My name is Yusi, I'm from Japan.
My name is Aiden and I'm from Singapore.
I'm Adina and I'm from Malaysia. We have a lot of people.
Okay, if you can see, a lot of students here, they're actually at beginner level, but because you give them the opportunity to talk to their friends, they don't feel like they're learning right now. It's subconscious. Okay, where were we? A test run. Someone recommended me a very good teacher right here, a science teacher. I don't want to take English teacher no more. Can I have Miss Intan on the stage right now to do a test run? And can I have another person who loves science? Peter, come over here. So over here, a science teacher, an A-star student, and a flunker. Okay. Before you ask a student to do a podcast, you can lay out some ground rules. Number one, no vulgarities. Peter, no vulgarities. No racist or sexist remarks, and no insensitive remarks. Okay? So you need to think one topic in your lesson to make a podcast out of. Okay? Before that, there are a lot of segments that you can use. Maybe it's not just your topic for today. It can be like every Wednesday, we can have one segment for our lesson. It can be 5 fun facts about, what do you want to do today?
How about heart disease?
Heart disease. So 5 fun facts about heart disease. Or it can be 5 tips and tricks about not having a heart disease, 5 do's and don'ts to avoid from getting heart disease, 5 common misconceptions about heart disease, Q&A or FAQs about heart disease. So it's not necessarily podcast about heart disease. You can make top 10 food to avoid from getting heart disease, something like that. Are we ready? Okay, so what you need to do is just a phone, okay? I will just move around the phone, okay, the microphone. So just pretend the microphone is actually the phone that you use in your class with your students. Okay. No, this is just like, okay? So I'm the moderator. The moderator is not necessarily the science teacher here. It can be the flunker. It can be the A-star student. Okay, welcome to our...
Are we starting?
Yeah. Okay, it's just casual. Okay, because we all want to go back early. Okay, okay, welcome to our podcast. Now we're going to talk about 5 fun facts about heart disease. I don't know science that much, but I hope our science teacher over here can help us out with some of the facts that probably I can remember better when you put it in 5 fun facts. Anything? Number 1?
First things first, thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about heart disease, specifically coronary heart disease. Okay. The first fun fact is male is more likely to develop heart disease, coronary heart disease. The second one is last time we thought that only older people can get CHD, coronary heart disease, but nowadays people that is younger than 30 can get CHD.
Okay. Okay, one by one. Because I'm a slow learner, I can't keep up, right? So are you saying that heart disease is sexist?
No, I'm not trying to be sexist. It's proven by research. So my A-star student, can you elaborate?
Alright, the reason why men suffer more from coronary heart disease compared to women is because in a lot of culture, men are expected or men are conditioned to not speak about their mental health issue. So, and also men is the one that is, in a lot of time, they have to take care of the economic needs of the family. So, also in traditional industrial society, men are the one that have to work in manufacturing industry. So it's a lot of stress. So most of the time, men find it very difficult to speak about the issue that they find it very difficult, and that could be one of the trigger that makes men to have unhealthy coping mechanisms. So for example, they start to smoke, or if they are already a smoker, they become a heavy smoker. So research, I mean, in medical field, we all get to know that if we have men who are diagnosed with coronary heart disease, the family member have a likelihood of getting coronary heart disease as well. So men is below 55, they have a higher chance, and for women is 65.
No, okay.
Okay, so Can you understand?
I think like what I don't understand is why men keep everything to themselves, unlike women. You can just tell to your friends, gossip a little bit about it. Why not?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You're the flunker just now, is it?
Yeah.
My question.
God damn it.
So my question is, why men is more likely to develop coronary heart disease? Okay, let's say for male, right? Because we have example as a male and as a female. So as a male, if you have a problem, what will you do?
For male? Since I'm a non-Muslim, I mean it's a podcast, okay?
Okay.
So I probably drink a lot. Okay, I'm not going to call my male friends and cry because I will look
Weak?
not manly. Yes, I will look weak. Yeah.
Alright, first things first, it's okay to cry. So I want to ask the
Moderator?
woman side of
Okay.
if you have a problem 12 a.m. midnight, what will you do?
First, food is life. I will binge eating, and after that, I will call someone. If I have a husband, I will call my husband. If I have a boyfriend, I will. If I have a wife, I would. So I need to channel my anger to something else. I cannot just keep it to myself.
Yeah, that is the reason. So because if for women, right, we tend to share stuff, we tend to let our expression out. Okay. This CHD is very close to me because in 2019, my father passed away because of CHD. So he collapsed, and because of the combination of heart attack and cardiac arrest, he collapsed and he can't make it to the hospital. So the doctor, after postmortem, the doctor said that 3 of the coronary arteries were blocked. And let's go to the next fun fact. He is a heavy smoker. So A-star student, you're not smoking, right? So yeah, smoking can also cause CHD because it can cause blockage in the coronary arteries. So the heart will not get enough oxygen, which causes them unable to pump the oxygen to all parts of our body. Yeah. You know how many cells we have in our human body?
God knows. 200?
Too little.
Too little?
Yes.
20,000?
Little.
1 million?
Still less.
Less?
I know.
You know?
Okay, you know? Thank God.
Because I'm an A-star student.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's trillion.
Trillion?
Trillion.
When I said
cell.
when I said a million, she said, "Oh, it's lesser than that." That's not fair.
Million is lesser.
Trillion.
Double, right? Double. So it's mass.
Math
Trillion
teacher.
is more, right? Math teacher.
Math teacher. I think million first and then trillion. Trillion is more like double.
So trillion is more, right?
Yeah.
I can teach math.
So it's trillion. So it's trillion.
Yeah, trillion. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What's the next fun fact?
Second one is smoking.
Uh-huh.
So third one is diet. Diet is very obvious, right? We all know that if we are not eating healthy, then we definitely can get CHD much earlier. We all, let me give you some warning here. We all will develop CHD. It's just a matter of time, whether it's tomorrow or maybe 10 years after. My father passed away in the age of 55 years old, which is considered as young. Is it? Right.
Yeah.
Yes, young. So yeah, the diet will also play a major role in like one of the risk factor of CHD. Yeah.
Okay.
I think when we talk about diet, we all know it's cholesterol, because if you consume a lot of food with saturated fat like butter, okay, I'm not saying that we cut off butter entirely, but then we can't cut off saturated fat from our life entirely, but then to link back to the fact that for male we have unhealthy coping mechanism, and males are often out from the workplace, I mean out from home to go to work. So most of the time they have to consume outside food. So it can be very unhealthy. So that could be one of the triggering factor that makes why men are more prone to coronary heart disease. Are you clear?
Yeah. I mean, let me reiterate. heart disease is not only sexist, but body shame too. Okay, that's what I get so far because I'm a flunker, right? You rub it on my face. Is there any other fun fact?
No, but are you interested in science now?
I guess. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for coming to my podcast. So you can see how the conversation going is not necessarily, okay, heart disease. What is the definition of heart disease? What are the things that you must not do or must do? When you are in a conversation, like a discussion just now, she can talk about her own experience, about her dad, okay? I can ask a lot of questions that I don't understand. It can be a joke, like body shame, like sexism, of course, heart disease is not sexist, but I just try to make a joke out of it to lighten the mood. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so the next task is for us to do it together. Like maybe, remember when I said earlier on that maybe you have done some multimedia techniques in your teaching? I want you to think, what have you done in your teaching using multimedia? And then what are the things that you think can implement? This is the new norms. What have you done? And then debunk ideas are the things that people think you cannot do it, but you did anyway. Tips and tricks, how can the students listen attentively in class when you try to do multimedia? Sometimes when you apply multimedia, right, they can't focus. Some of other students are doing something else when we're having a podcast in front of the class. How can you combat that? Okay, are you ready? We gotta be by department. Okay, why is so quiet? Languages, Mandarin, Spanish, English, Malay, under the category of languages. Social sciences, business, accounting, and business, accounting, what else under social science? Everybody help me here. History, okay. So you know that is your department. ICT, physical education here. Performing arts, I try to cram everything under 7 departments over here. So performing arts, music, art, and drama. And that one, humanities and math. So I need the HOD to be the moderator, meaning if you have some ideas to include over here, the HOD can write it for you because I don't want to be chaotic, everyone wants to put their own ideas, right? So for example, languages, you have a lot of HODs, right? You guys can work together, 4 of you, okay? Let's get to work. Yeah, you can move. How long? Maybe 5 minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes. Get moving. Oh yeah. Test. There are some colored markers in front of you, colored pens. You can use it. The HOD can be the moderator. The teachers can help out.
Social sciences is under the humanities.
Oh yeah?
I think
Oh,
then
really?
how about sciences? Science. And the rest is science.
Okay, can that be science though?
Yeah.
You will join us. You don't join the humanities.
Thank you. We all want to go back early, right?
Yeah.
I want the tips.
Okay, you can choose whenever.
Where the color? Oh, it's actually social science, sorry. No, science, okay, wait.
Don't worry, we discuss it first.
Okay. Social science is actually science. Sorry, my bad. And humanities, all the business there. Okay? Masih minum habis. Do you have the color pen? Ada tak color pen? Ah! Mana colour pen? Weh, cepat sikit lah nak balik lah.
Asal nak juga sini Mac?
Mana lagi? Adi.
Baru datang. Adik busy. Dia asisten you kan hari ni.
Mana ada lah, ada tolong tu. Cepatlah nak balik awal ke tak? Nak balik awal ke tak? Cepat sikit. Ada pen tak? Boys at the back, I see you. Science, huh? No, social science is actually the one. Yeah, because
What do you mean by debunk ideas?
like benda yang korang dah try before, tapi dia macam tak berkesan, ataupun orang sebelum ni cakap, oi teknologi ni tak boleh lah sebab susah.
That means
Debunk
under
lah.
technology lah.
Ya. Ya. Ha?
Not ready, Japan.
Okay.
Our HOD is like
Random lah. I want to go back lah. Fast.
That's why you can.
Wait, a lot of people under R ah.
Yeah. No lah, mana ada? This one.
Argue.
Huh?
What time is it now? Oh. Any question? Okay, about technology, what people think. What people think that is wrong in technology. You want to debunk the ideas.
Misconception.
Misconception.
Like about subject.
Yes, let me say it out. Debunk ideas or misconceptions about technology. Okay?
How about subject or what subject?
Technology. Yeah, for your subject.
yes, some of the groups are plenty and they can't join. Later we can excuse them, you know, it's not practical to have them.
Yeah.
I mean, the stage is limited. I mean,
Mr. Yao, what is GPT? Have you used this
I don't know.
class? That's the thing that we're going to discover because it's a new norms. So tips and tricks, we have incentive and prizes, and then cross-examination, the devil's advocate. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you so much. I know we know what ChatGPT is. I just want to know what is TrueGPT. Maybe we can apply it too. Next, math. Math HOD, math teacher. Hold once, hold twice. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Actually, there were a lot of confusion. I think we don't really get what is it the ideas on the technology or on maths. We did our study and we still couldn't get clear idea. So I just read out whatever we had here. For this one, some of us were thinking that technology will take too long to implement. Probably that's what we can manage to get. And also, when we think of introducing technology, we think they are all not exam oriented. That's what we can get. You know, all the online games, Excel, GeoGebra recording, scavenger hunt, electronic device, and tips and tricks. We use games, challenges, and rewards. That's what we get. Please help correct whatever we
Don't
do
even
get.
know about math. What is GeoGebra? It's a website for math. Scavenger hunt. Okay, next we have performing arts. We need all the HODs. Or maybe you can like rock, paper, scissors? Oh yeah, okay, Mike. Okay.
Okay, right. Good afternoon. So I'm representing performing arts, music, art, and drama. So what we have done here, debug ideas, pretty much. We thought that
Misconception.
if we use tools, we need expensive tools, right? Not actually. Okay, so Second one is we need talent to use the devices. No, eventually, if you know how to record, it's fine. It's enough for you to get started. If you know how to use your phone to take photo, that's one way. Okay, and it's hard again. It's hard to use the device to record. For information, I done that in our learning journey year 9. We have roughly 210 students, and imagine they are doing painting, and you can't see one person doing painting on the stage, right? So what have I done? I've done this. Basically, I use my phone. I get some info from IT department. They say, "Oh, you can't project this in screen." I say, "Why not?" And they suggest why not using Google Meet. Yes, during MCO, we'll be using Google Meet, and thanks to that, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Use my phone, log into the Google Meet, and I just zoom in nearer to the campus, and basically 200 students managed to see what that particular piece of work can be done. Okay, that's one way. Okay, so that's ideas, you got the ideas, right? So if again you know how to use your phone, basically
Impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Correct.
Okay? New norms, basically for art and design, music and drama, basically what we can do is pre-record. We do pre-record. Maybe some of our teachers, we do pre-record before we enter, then we show it to them. Second one is virtual reality. Pretty much virtual reality, I think this is not something new, but it's something that is interesting for the kids. But the problem is, it's more individual. I think cost-wise, that's quite expensive. Okay? Virtual reality, because why? We can immerse the students to the environment. Like for example, drama. We can't bring them to the drama or theater right? So they can use the VR, experience the scene. Time save, time and cost-wise, we save because we don't have to bring kids out during the traveling. Besides that, new norms, I think some of our teachers use TikTok to deliver their session. YouTube's pre-record, we upload in YouTube's like all the uploads or even theories part, they can be kept back in their Google Classroom. We still use Google Classroom. I hope that we still use Google Classroom in case that we can reflect as our teachers, we can reflect back what we have done, we deliver. We can
virtual document.
Archive of it. Then it's an archive for us to reflect back our lesson. Instagram and vlogs. Okay? That's new norms. And tips and tricks, basically try to update ourselves. Doesn't matter in either
newest technology.
Okay? Even we are old or new, we try to update ourselves with new technologies.
Nice.
I think one of it is the
Which one? ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay?
Correct.
I think even right now, AI is creating their own artwork. You don't have
really?
to.
Damn.
Yeah, AI, you just key in what you want, they just create the artwork for you. Even monologue, you just type in, they create monologue for you. And they can even voice out your projection exactly like you. Even music, it's proven. You'll be surprised Rihanna singing, but that's not Rihanna. Okay? So, yes, that's tips and tricks from our performing arts. Thank you.
Yeah. Very good. I think I saw like a person in our department, she or he tries to like merge Van Gogh and Yayoi Kusama artwork and turning into a new one, a piece that you haven't seen before. That's AI for you. Next, PE. PE, going once, going twice. Hello? Anybody's home? PE. Dude, come on. Pika. Okay. Luckily we have one. Give a round of applause. I will help you out.
Okay, selamat hari everyone. Okay, so basically, to be honest, we are not really clear about this. Okay, maybe the debunker ideas here, we can always have theory and physical in class. So for example, lecturing, most of the students are not interested with. So for example, we take a practical class, we go to gymnasium. Okay, for example. And then we always use tips and tricks so that we just plug in the laptop, for example, show them on YouTube on how we do exercise. Okay, instead of doing that, we can have a new norm, which is we can explore fitness app from the phone so that they can exercise similar to what we are doing from the YouTube, but we in a different way. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, ICT, Paul.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. ICT, debug ideas. When the students come for ICT lesson, they thought play games, social media. They thought it's a touchscreen only. They touch the older monitor screen, they thought it's a touchscreen. Well, that's why you see these days. We told them it's not, but they still touch it anyway. The one is hacking. First question they ask me, teacher, can you teach me hacking? I say no. That's the idea they get always. The other one is, of course they love cyberbullying and stuff. Of course we encourage bully free. Alright, in your school, right? Yeah, cybercrime, they thought, you can hack someone else work, right? And they want to do something else, right? So that's their ideas we always get. So new norms, yeah, well, of course we do have some gamification learning, have some different platform from teachers around. This is one of the platforms we use, GameKit platform. We have other apps you can use as well. This is only example. These are few apps you can use for them to play games and get some points, and get something else, and get some rewards in the end. Yeah, so there are a lot of other ways to implement the learning as well. This is only one of them. Okay. What are the tricks? Of course, in the lab they use computer, so they have a Kahoot quiz, online quizzes, Padlet, so they can share their ideas, online sticky notes, that kind of stuff. Scratch programming, and then education Minecraft. Yeah, this one is not really game Minecraft, education Minecraft as well, and other stuff they can try out during lesson for a short period of time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I just want to tell you that Anna will be talking about gamification. Gamification next learning session. Science.
No, not me.
Hello, good afternoon. So for science, I think a lot of people will think that science is boring. You only listen to the teachers talking forever, right? So for new norm, I think technology is a bit hard, but I think we can do like voice over. For example, certain processes or certain things. You can find videos online, for example YouTube, but you mute it. So you show the video, but then you let the student be the narrator of the process.
Ooh.
So maybe you can do that. And then like just now about the podcast is also a good idea. And then for primary, I think they mentioned just now is blended learning. So next is maybe for more primary also they can create maybe drama or act out certain things. Process, right? And then for secondary, maybe they can do debate. Also maybe in podcast also possible, right? And then videos like maybe they can give assignment for them to make videos or certain part of the lesson, certain lesson objective, they can make videos of it. And then tips and tricks, maybe we can look at the things that they can do. We can use different MIs. Right? For example, discussion, and then for natural means that maybe they can do drawings and things like that. Yeah, thank you.
I love the narrator part. Like you need to be a narrator for your own video, the process of science, but you can hear your student's voice. Next, languages. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to be talking on behalf of all the HODs from languages. So the debunk ideas, the first one is my favorite. You can't make exam
What time is it
discussion
now?
interesting.
40.
So a lot of students hate it when they have to discuss exam papers. But in fact, you can make it fun and you can make it interactive with the help of technology. So for instance, you can find the common mistakes that students make in their papers, and then you can create, let's say, clickers. Yeah, so where you write an erroneous sentence and then 4 options to correct it, and they need to choose the one that actually corrects it, or like many other ways to do it. Then another one is Google Translate doesn't work, and I think it's amazing. Yeah, it doesn't work if you want to translate War and Peace from Russian to Chinese, but if your student doesn't know how to say I have stomach ache in English and they have stomach ache, so seriously Google Translate will work. I mean, I'm obviously exaggerating, but yeah, in class it's something that can be helpful and necessary sometimes. Right, and new norms. Yeah, so I think like schools and school policies need to keep up with what's happening in technology. So sometimes some useful websites are blocked by school firewalls because they think it's a gaming website. But the thing is that these websites, you cannot play a game unless there is educational content. So this is something that I think happens at the level of like policies, districts, so it needs to be looked into. And then the next one is exam discussion can be done in a fun way. Yeah, so students can share their papers and they can try and discuss what common things they write in the papers or what common mistakes they make, etc. And yeah, sparing can be done in a fun way. So you can use Kahoot or you can use tiny mini whiteboards, and you can have a spelling bee. So you say the word